Well, I sincerely doubt that, because publicity, meaning publicity has not been too good. Otherwise, people would have known before now, and even before the wreck in Lagos came on our program, that you can still approach the INEC office and pick up your card. Before then, before he came here, it was also not known to a lot of people, what you're saying now. So if people still haven't been able to get theirs, for instance, you go to a place and you see your name on the register or on the list pasted on the wall, and your name or your permanent voter card is not there. How do you explain some of these? Because we have to look at some complaints. That's why Marco is saying we don't really have time. Let's pick some of the issues raised by some of the
What are the challenges so far? At the polling units, you are expected to see, distribution officers, the DO. Now they will check and give you your PVC. Now, first and foremost, before you approach the distribution officer, you check what we call the electronic voter register pasted at the center to check your name. Now, if you check and your name is not there, and of course you have your temporary voter's card, now two things may have happened. At the level of the cleanup of the exercise, as I've tried to demonstrate here, you will find that when you run the APIS, the automatic finger admission software system, at the level of the APIS here, because we are saying that the principle is one person, one vote. First, that cleanup has been done. Those who did multiple registration. Now, at this level of the APIS, you will find somebody, you will find the name is written there. There's no picture to it. You find somebody, picture, name, but no thumbprint. Or you have somebody having just only one thumbprint. Don't forget that in 2011, we captured 10 fingerprints of Nigerians. Now, we discovered that a number of people, either because of the challenge we had as at that time, and as all some individuals had issues, it was now reduced to only two from each of your hands. So the minimum is supposed to be 4. Now, all those who don't have the minimum threshold required are still at the level of the APIS. Their names, they are all there. Nothing has been removed. Now, what happens is that once that happens, if your name is not on the register, you are not to be given what they call an incident form. They give you an incident, they will give you a form, which you will fill, that your name is not there. Or you may even see your name on the board. There may be no PVC printed for you. You will fill that form, will be given to you, and that will be taken to the commission to get what do you call it, the PVC printed for you subsequently. Now, another issue that people have talked about is that you have 40 DDC machines with respect to the CVR. Now, the truth of the matter is this. As of 2011, we bought well over 32,000 DDC machines. When we were through with the election, the commission decided, look, of course, your iPad, your laptop, you cannot keep it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months unused and expect that it will function anytime, any day. How much more? I'm talking about over 4 years. The decision was taken by the commission, was sanctioned by the Federal Executive Council, that the DDC machine should be given to primary school, secondary school in all the states of the Federation. In Cross River, over 1,500 have been earmarked. Now, for every registration center, because don't forget that the CBR that we are talking about.
Sorry, I didn't get that, Mr. Igini. Are you saying that the DDC machines were distributed to secondary schools?
Oh, yeah. Donated, more than enough.
Just a moment. They were donated to...
They were purged. All the data were purged. And because not to just keep all of them, and of course they'll be useless, all right? Let us give them to the states of the Federation. Okay. Some states have collected. If I won't say they've not collected,
so they kept some for themselves.
Yes, we have enough
of the rest.
Good. So if for every registration area where we are doing this registration, where we have 2, because 1 for registration, 1 for backup, all right? We have over 50 to make replacements. Over 50 to make replacements. So the problem is not whether we don't have enough. The idea was that some people said, why don't you buy a new DDC machine. The question is, how much are we going to be spending in buying this? After all, what we have now, what requires was patience. You know, people are patient and know that we have more than enough to make that replacement. And that is why we at the level of the ROA, you have 2 people there, you have this machine there. But for every replacement, you have people to make that replacement.
Just a moment though, would you say that INEC has been efficient in the duties that it has chosen to carry out at this period?
Look, I have just told you everything, every step that we have taken.
Yes.
Engaging all stakeholders. What has happened is that other stakeholders have not played their role because the success of election, Mark, is predicated on the 5 categories of stakeholders, which are INEC, political parties and their candidates, the judiciary, the media, as well as the electorate. The success we recorded in 2011 was not by INEC alone.
Well, just a moment. So which other stakeholders have not played their role? I mean, for instance, now you come to a polling center, and then, you know, in one instance, they could see they had their temporary voters cards. They could see their permanent voters cards. INEC did not come with the paper for them to thumbprint and sign on. How is that the fault of the electorate?
You see, we have situations where, for instance, the form that were produced for what they call the distribution list, all right, for you to collect, because you are not expected to collect in proxy. You collect it by person.
Yeah.
Because the 3rd time, or we are taking your biometric, 2nd time we are taking your biometric now, as the 3rd time would be in the election. Now, if the distribution list that has been given to them have been exhausted, of course, and we have that kind large crowd, we expect that people will be anxious. But the truth of the matter is that the collection of PVC is continuous. Since May, all offices have been opened. As I speak to you, it will amaze you to hear that whereas we received over 1,017,000 printed PVC, we still have well over almost to 400,000 uncollected. Applied to so many states. Talking about responsibility, let me just rub in this point here. Talking about responsibility of other stakeholders, one would have expected that the political parties that have been described as the essential organ of democratic process would mobilize people at the local government level, all offices in the local government in the 24 states, including the ongoing 3rd phase states that are already in the process. Our offices, as I speak to you, they are open in the local government. Why are the political parties are not organizing the people to move in that direction? I just told you how we brought Federal Ministry of Education, NOA, FRCN, NUJ, everybody.
I think that awareness issue, we must give it to the political parties, because if you ask a lot of people, look at the comments coming in, that most of the awareness programs they have seen were from political parties. And you say INEC has been on this.
The awareness with respect to collection of your PVC different from vote for me, vote for my party.
No, they were not even about voting now. But again, if you look at this now, since May, then let's come back to Lagos, even though you're not direct for Lagos. We have asked, how does INEC now explain itself if we say some 11 local governments till now have not started collecting their voter cards?
Good. Now, you see, for us, we are open at all times.
And it's like 2 months to elections.
Just hold on. I will explain that to you. Lagos has the highest number of registered voters in the country. 6 million, as at 2011, 6 million, 60-something thousand. Followed by Kano, Kaduna, River State, Delta, and other states. Now, Lagos State equals about 5 states. Cross River is just 1.148,484. Now, when we are running the data for all the states, started at the same time, because Lagos equals about 5 states, as well as Kano and the other states, naturally, Lagos have a huge data. They will always be almost the last in that process, even though they started at the same time, because we have some states that are just about like Igini, less than 1 million. So all the states about 1 million and so on and so forth. Even when you started the process at the same time, you should expect that that is what will happen. Now, it has come to the turn of Lagos State, which is Lagos and other 11 states, about 12 states. What has happened? There's nothing that has happened here in other states that have not also the same thing here.